by the way, people have noticed that after we introduce Nini, I always say in this particular episode, so let's roll. In this particular episode, we are talking about personal branding.
We are talking about personal branding. Hii kamera hizi songa na hapa Jonte.
Ikirudi nyuma, there is a nini.
Oh, there's a problem.
Yeah, so I told you it's a full frame.
Personal branding.
Yeah.
Tushenyente basi.
What do you understand by personal branding?
Personal branding. Personal branding is personal branding. It's branding yourself personally. Yeah. Sikia venye na shenyenta.
I think that's
direct translation.
Direct translation. I think personal branding is really creating a brand around yourself. But let's first of all define what a brand is. Because a brand, like we have always told people, is not a logo. A brand is not your colors. A brand is not the font. It's not all those things. Those are just elements of what your brand is supposed to be. Personally, I speak very highly of branding because personally, I'm a brand manager. There's a difference between a social media manager and a brand manager. A brand manager is the person who oversees all those other items, social media management included. We have had a feud with social media managers asking me about social media stuff, and I'm like, no, I do brand stuff.
Brand management.
Yeah, brand over. Like, you can make a brand decision even when the boss is not around. That's what brand management is. So a brand is what people know you for. What is your reputation?
Exactly.
What is the feeling that people get anytime that we mention Elvis?
True.
Anytime that the name Daddy Blessing is mentioned. Blessing.
Where?
Avocado kwa chai ndio hiyo. Anytime that
Conclave.
Blessing, yeah, conclave.
Moshi ya black, eh?
Habemus Papa.
Habemus Papa.
Now, anytime the name Daddy Blessing is mentioned, what comes immediately to the people or to the mind of people? That's what really a brand is. It's the reputation and the feeling and the overall report that people have about you.
When your name is mentioned, there's one video that always pops up in my head. Kama wewe ni customer wangu, hii wiki bari
Yeah.
that video did like so well.
Yeah, it did well.
Nona.
Yeah.
Like I think if right now if I mention there's a guy fulani kuna msee hadi sahi naona kana mwogopanga. Anaitwa Lenny. Memwona TikTok.
Yeah.
Anaibia watu simu. Like if I honestly met that dude, nitahepa.
Yeah.
Juju like venye amejibrand.
Yeah.
Amejibrand ni mwizi wa simu.
But in real life, he's a very cool guy.
Probably like ni msee too cool. So I think honestly we were talking about in the previous Mengo zilikuwa now you are supposed to talk about
the previous one we were discussing about numbers, followers. This one we are discussing about now
how to create a personal brand. Maybe I'll pose this question to you. How did you start building your personal brand?
A lot of trials and errors in the areas that I'm good at. Well, when I was in the phone industry, I was a fundi wa simu internationally. I tried to create a brand around mimi kukua fundi. And that's the type of content that I was quote unquote creating. Although I did not know how to kind of push it.
Yes.
Were it not for me now, all those ordeals that I passed through and all that, now to come and place myself as a content creator who deals specifically with marketing and businesses and all those things, I could have been a fundi by now. Saizi mngekuwa mnanijua kama fundi.
Fundi mnoma sana.
Ningekuwa Mwas 97 ama the technician KE. Do you follow those guys?
On TikTok, these guys will repair phones.
Yes. I could have been the Roy Kanye of today if I still followed that path. Branding yourself starts with understanding the skills that you have. This is the skill set that I have, okay? How do I strategically place myself as the go-to person as long as this skill or as far as this type of skill is needed? So branding yourself is also positioning yourself, because again, a reputation comes after people know what you do. A reputation must be a reputation about something or about things that you do. So personally, when you start branding yourself, first of all, start with the skills that you have. Yeah.
I think having the skill set is important. I normally say that for any creator online,
yes,
you cannot only be creating content. you must be good at something.
Yeah.
Skill set. Step number 2, as Mengo says, is create a consistent online presence. You post on all platforms, yeah?
I post on all platforms, yeah.
If people realized the importance of consistency, right now, imwezi, I'm going to be hitting 3 years posting on TikTok. Nilianza kupost TikTok around April 2022. But my consistency journey began in May.
Yes.
And right now, I'm going to be doing 3 years of posting on TikTok. And I'm telling you, 3 years only of consistent content creation has enabled me to get 600,000 followers on TikTok.
Yes.
It has enabled me to have like 249,000 followers on Facebook. LinkedIn, 99,000 as we speak. And the only way you can get known for what you do, especially me being known about skills and personal development, youth empowerment, it has to be through consistent messaging.
Yeah.
And not consistent messaging that has no... I think most people are consistent, are consistently talking about themselves. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nilienda, I went to this cafe, you know, come with me, get ready with me.
Yes.
I mean, it's always about you.
Yes.
Consistently. Eventually, people get tired of it. But I realized there's something I like about a statement you use. Your content has to be timeless.
Correct.
Even when you're not there, your content is talking about you.
Absolutely.
And I honestly think that it's time for people to really get to understand that you need to build a personal brand that is consistent, consistently sharing valuable information to impact other people.
Absolutely. Then still on the same, you have to identify your people.
Yeah, sure.
Who are you talking to? Because you can't be consistently talking to people who are not getting you.
Kweli.
I'll use an example of a mathematics teacher. A mathematics teacher anajuanga wanafunzi wake ni akina nani. And anawajuanga from day one.
Yeah.
You will see people who are truly interested in learning mathematics. And those are the people that you'll focus on.
Sure.
The people that are sleeping in your class shouldn't really be a bother. And that's when people lose focus, because you tend to deviate from what your brand represents, because umefocus na mwanafunzi mwenye analala.
True.
Mwanafunzi mwenye analala, they are the people who will come and trash talk you in the comment section. There are people who will come and try to deviate you from the overall brand
journey that
the journey that you're taking to another place where you're in a cocoon. You will only teach the class when this sleeping student is awake, if you know what I mean. There are people who will not create content until they see someone insulting them. Now they have a chance to reply. If you trace back, these people are creating genuine content, but they started concentrating on the sleeping student. So anytime the student is sleeping and there is no hate online, they don't have content. They deviated from what their brand speaks about, what their brand represents. When it comes to creating and also to double down on what you have said, consistency, let people find you flawless in all platforms. Nasemanga, there's no need to present yourself differently in different platforms. That's why sometimes Mimi I joke on LinkedIn.
I mean, it's okay.
I joke on LinkedIn, although people have this stereotype of LinkedIn is for serious people, because LinkedIn, Daddy Blessing has not changed from the Daddy Blessing you will find joking on TikTok. It's still the same. So why do you find me having fun on TikTok, me having fun on Facebook, me having fun on Instagram, then LinkedIn I have to change? You are disrupting that consistency. People will be like, okay, this is another person that you don't really know. If someone needs to follow you on all platforms, that means there is still work to do, because a person should be satisfied with what they are getting in a single platform, because they know it is consistent all over. Yeah. So when we say you have like 100,000 followers on LinkedIn, they should not be like 50% and above. They are still the same people following you on other platforms. That means you have not captured a new market on LinkedIn.
True.
If you are consistent on TikTok, yeah, and you're talking about the same things you're talking about on LinkedIn, there's no need for me to follow you on LinkedIn.
True.
Because I know what I'll get on LinkedIn is what I'll get on TikTok. What I'll get on TikTok is what I'll get on Instagram. The only small difference is YouTube. because now YouTube should be a collection of the small ideas that you talk about on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all these short form social media platforms, now combined together into long form that we post on YouTube. And still on YouTube, it should be the same message, but in a large scale, concentrated together to a longer video. So when you talk about consistency, it's not just a matter of showing up, but each and every time you show up, we understand exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
When you show up, we know Elvis will talk about masculinity, we'll talk about skills, we'll talk about personal development, AI, and all those. People know you for that. In fact, the other day they said you should be minister of AI and put everyone who does not have a skill in jail. Yeah? You see? People know you for that. Every time I speak, people will know I'll either defend business people, have fun of clients that don't really make sense to business people, or talk about production. If they see me tomorrow talking about gender or talking about medicine, gender transfer surgery, they'll be like,
Buddha.
Mbulo. You see, I have lost consistency with my people. So when it comes to building a brand, losing consistency is losing your brand altogether, because you will turn the narrative and the reputation altogether.
I think there's also a big problem naonanga na watu wengi. When guys start posting and you get like 30 views in your video,
yes,
una quit.
Yeah.
Unarudi after 1 month kurant nasema these algorithms. And you see, like growth is gradual.
Yes.
That's one thing I realized. You will never post a video and get 50,000 views once.
Yes.
It has to take time. It's going to take time. And especially when it comes to beginning with platforms, you need to understand which platform you're dealing with.
Yes.
You cannot honestly go and open Instagram, uanza kushoot video na Redmi yako, and you expect to go viral.
Yeah.
You can't go on Facebook and start posting certain kind of content without even understanding the platform. I also think most people are afraid of trying. Because I normally tell people, don't specialize. Don't specialize when you're beginning your content creation journey.
Try everything.
Recently, I tried to specialize. Nikasema, let me focus on websites and AI. And then I realized, first of all, the majority of people I have who consume my content are not here because of websites. They're not here because of SEO. They're here because of me as a person.
Correct.
So what should I be doing? I should be creating. So as you create, imagine from that, by they could create 2 evil. I got 2 clients or websites. Yeah?
Yes.
I got 2 clients. And if each client gives you like 25,000 each, only 50K.
Correct.
And you see, you're probably doing like a 5 to 10 page website.
Correct.
Very simply. So I normally recommend a lot of times, don't specialize.
Yes.
When you're creating your content, focus on consistent value creation.
Yes.
Choose one platform to start with. You can start with all platforms at once. If you can, so. If you can do Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, start with that. Yeah. Build pole pole.
Yes.
Like if you're consistent now for a period of like 6 months, you can believe me, people will start noticing you. I remember when I began my content creation journey, I wasn't consistent as much.
Yes.
I used to do like 1 post per day. But when I moved to 3 and moved to now 10 posts per day,
yes,
that's when you start realizing, oh wow. Like unajua uzuri wa hiyo kitu ni moja. Like when you create a video and you've posted it on social media.
Yes.
And it doesn't perform well. And you create another video.
Yes.
It performs better than the previous one. You now know where to focus on.
Yes.
So this prevents kuna watu, they think that if you post a video it has to go viral. Your videos will not always go viral.
Yeah.
And I think most people are also looking for instant gratification in content creation. Let me tell you, you know the number of views I target per video? 500 peke yake.
Yeah.
I normally tell people, if you have 5,000 followers, to the 1,000, 5 views are important to you.
Correct.
Because those are 5 people who can buy from you. Forget about the thousands. So if you have like 99,000 followers on LinkedIn, 99 people are the only one who can buy your product.
Correct.
So focus on pleasing 99 people.
Yeah.
If your post gets 99 impressions, fungia hapo. It reduces the need, the expectations of high viewership and instant gratification, and makes you settle down and understand that it's not about massive scale, it's about quality.
Yes.
Can you manage 99 people well? Yes, you can. But now when you create videos and you want them to get 400,000 views,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
I tell people, even when it comes to brands that I manage, I can allow you to give up if you have created 1,000 videos per year and nothing is happening. But if you have not created 1,000 videos yet, there's nothing you're telling me.
There's nothing you're telling me. By then you're quite... And I also think people need to understand platforms. I have come to realize that we really underestimate social media platforms without even knowing.
Yes.
I didn't like TikTok before. The reason I didn't like TikTok is because of the likes of Aziad. I used to like wonder
mama shaking
kitu watu wanashinda tu wakidance huku TikTok. There's a chick used to be called Joki Morera. You used to watch her videos.
Bengals amesema yes sir.
Mimi nilionanga hizo videos like block mbio sana. Because there is content that you realize that it's just tarnishing you and making you think very bad things. So I realized that this is not the kind of platform for me.
Yes.
But nikasema, yes, it is a bad platform, yes. But what if you brought good into it?
That's the same thing I also thought, because my first impression with TikTok was like, ni awa mama, watu kukuja tu kutingiza whatever. We were among the first people to realize that TikTok live can be something that can be good and can be turned for good before hizi vitu zingine za chai came. So I would say I was in the generation that didn't really experience the bad side of TikTok as far as live sessions are concerned. But nowadays they are rotten. I'll be honest. Then again, I came to realize that you can engineer your FYP as the algorithm is growing. So now I stopped now blaming the people who are creating the content. I started looking at myself now. What kind of content am I consuming? Why am I getting these random suggestions of content? Maybe it's myself. It's the type of content that I'm watching. When someone is being exposed on Telegram and I go and watch them being exposed, TikTok somehow, there is an interconnection with these platforms zenye hatujuangi sisi wenyewe. Because you will see someone being exposed on Telegram, then after scrolling a few things on TikTok, unapatana the same story. Same case with Facebook and all that. So I started watching the kind of content that I'm consuming myself, because I will prompt the algorithm to be feeding me such kind of content. And also to reduce that inaitangwa nini?
Gani?
In your infiltration of bad content is upon me to create good content to dilute all that. So I started creating positive content.
I also think like any professional, you're a graphic designer, video editor, you do anything. I think presenting yourself professionally, as Mengos puts it over here, reply to emails and DMs within 24 hours.
Yes.
Send branded invoices and professional proposals. Use tools for workflow. You're a professional, you've built a personal brand on LinkedIn, you've built a personal brand on TikTok, Instagram. Someone DMs you and tells you, I need a website. And then you are like, personal branding, Personal branding. Like, mtu amekudm akakwambia, I want you to send me a proposal. Well, unamtumia kidm, website design 5, by that person treats you like very useless.
Yes.
But I came to realize, the simplest things.
Yes.
You tell the person, I think we can schedule a meeting,
Correct.
a virtual meeting, a 30-minute free clarity meeting. Free clarity meeting. And then after the meeting, now you understand their needs. Immediately you send them like a quotation or even a proposal of what you will do for them.
Yes.
And then after sending your proposal now, if the client approves, you send them an invoice. High chances are, because I've tried it and realized how professional communication, especially when you are someone who is a professional, that kind of professionalism already makes someone get interested in working with you. Correct. Without even thinking twice, because of the way that you've carried yourself. I also came to learn that as you do your documentation and everything, be very formal. Be very formal. And use like the way you even like what you post online. Let it reflect your professionalism.
Yes.
Even as you engage in projects with clients.
Yes.
Communication, effective service delivery, professionalism, how do you speak?
Yes.
All these things matter. Your personal brand is not only online.
Absolutely. And when it comes to creating a personal brand, you're also supposed to be the authority over whatever niche that you're in. You don't need to be the highest person followed in that specific niche, but you need to present something new. I'll give you an example with governments. There was a government in place before Ibrahim Traore, but right now, as Ibrahim Traore came, we can sense the authority. We can feel it because he came with new fragrance, new energy. It's not the first coup in Africa. It's not the first military-led government in Africa, but we can feel the new energy. So now when it comes to personal branding, because Ibrahim Traore has created a personal brand around revolutionary leadership that can be replicated somewhere else, that can be useful in other nations. When you're creating a personal brand, do people see something they can replicate in their systems and call you as an authority to spearhead that? Because when you brand yourself that way as the solution, people will always be coming to you as an authority over that specific thing. We trust Elvis's word for this. Elvis akisema ni left, ni left. Elvis akisema ni right, ni right. Because he is an authority over this specific issue. Another thing when it comes to branding, collaborate. Kikuyu inasemanga gutire koigiotero. That means even the wisest person still requires advice.
Sure.
You'll need someone else's input, whether you like it or not. Solidifying your ground as an authority over something doesn't really mean you have figured it out altogether. I might be a little bit higher in some things, but there'll be a junior somewhere who is very, very wise in a specific element of this vehicle that I'm steering. If I don't take advice from that person, it doesn't matter how good I am. There'll be a deficiency. It doesn't matter how good I speak, how good I present myself. There'll be a deficiency in the overall delivery.
True.
And that's why you will mess up. Because it should be flawless. From onboarding a client, service delivery, to now the final steps of the engagement.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you're creating your personal brand, consider collaborating. You can't build alone. Yeah.
Now, in personal branding, when it comes to content creation, we want to talk about AI. The role of artificial intelligence. Sometimes just to give your brain some time to be free. Guys think that, when you build your personal brand and you're known for something, there's a point it gets where you have no ideas of content.
Yes.
So, first of all, consume a lot of information. Read books, get fresh perspectives, spend time listening to documentaries, learn how to use AI. To begin with, ChatGPT, the most basic AI tool. It can help you on just streamline your workflows, work faster, more efficiently, do things better, and even provide more content. Like you see, I realized that if you create content, there's a point where it gets people want more. People never stop from
absolutely
watu wanataka more content. So I think you need to also learn how to use AI tools to create more content, to create content that is within your theme, that is basically your content bucket, and also utilize all other AI tools that come in place.
There's a mentor who told me, create a hunger that only you can satisfy.
True.
Yeah, that's how you stand out as a brand. There's something else called social proof, and social proof is results of what your brand has done. Can people say, after I interacted with Elvis in this specific area, I've grown this way and this way and this way? Can we have testimonials of people saying, after engaging Elvis on the services of web design, my website has grown to this level, or my business has grown to this level, or as a person I have grown to this level? You have classes. Someone can say, after I joined Elvis's class on web design, I've gotten 2 clients this year, not even this month, this year. That is proof that you have impact. That is proof of impact. Not proof of concept per se, but proof of impact. Means your brand is impactful. Again, when it comes to social proof, who are talking about you and what are they saying? Who? It matters. It really matters. Because it's not just enough to be talked about. what is being said is very, very important also.
True.
Because most people nowadays are just focused on being talked about. But what is the ground saying? What politicians like to say that. Wesema hivyo, but wacha tusikize ground. Well, washanyenta tu. But sisi tunasikiza ground. Kwa sababu ground is where your grassroots are. There's something I would like to say when it comes to personal branding. It might be controversial and all that. Don't be sympathetic of people you outrun.
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect, if you have worked for it, you should outrun people. You should outrun people. So don't be sympathetic with people you have outrun. Like if you found someone and they are slacking their business, I'm not talking about hostile takeover. I'm talking about a takeover that has brought a fresh fragrance. Yeah, that people you didn't really have to push and pull for clients to shift to your end. You didn't have to really disrupt the market or to lower the prices, to undercharge or to do all those things. In fact, you are the top tier when it comes to charging and all that, but you have a different fragrance that's just attracting people because you have worked on your brand. So now when you start sympathizing on DB now, siku nataka kuoutrun DB. So itabidi pesi yangu kwanza itulie. Sasa DB kwanza catch up. DB will catch up, and when he catches up, he will not sympathize with you for taking you over. So don't sympathize with people you take over as far as personal branding is concerned.
True.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I also think the key aspect in personal branding is quality content creation.
Yeah.
I think that's something to know, for people to know. And for me, maybe as I just wind up, I'll say content is king.
Yeah.
Content is king and it is key.
Yeah.
So the quality of your content is going to determine how your personal brand grows.
Yes.
Yeah.
A brand is a container. Okay, you are the container. A brand is what is held inside a container.
Is held inside the container.
We will know what is held inside a container within the first sip or within the first eyesight or on all that. You don't know how Fanta tastes until you taste it.
Sure.
And that's you will know this is not for me. This is not my cup of tea. And this in layman's language, this is not my cup of tea.
This is not my cup of tea.
Even though we are talking about soda. You will know this is not for me.
Sure.
So you are the container, your brand is what pours out of it, and people will know you with the first sip. So when you're creating your personal brand, be very mindful.
True.
That's the PowerTalk. My name is Daddy Blessing. See you in the next one.
My name is Elvis. See you in the next one.